Welcome. Finally back here. Real life, lots of events going on, but we're back here. SCS North Africa, Multi-Man Publishing, Operation Crusader, and we're picking up where we left off. We're still in the first turn. Pretty much everybody's out of supplies, and Germans have finished their react move, and it looks like they've actually set up to do running to the wire, sprint to the wire, whatever Rommel called it. The British at this point with a react would have to burn supply points to do something. The only ones they have are here in the Tobruk, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They could use them here to try and break out, I guess. But I think they're going to save it. That way, when they get the 2 supply units next turn, they can do 2 full activations between the 4 they'll have on board. So they're going to pass. And with that pass, though, the Germans are going to roll the die. Rommel's going to roll the die. And I'll show you here full activation, it looks like. First off, I can't end the turn here. Germans could pass, but then that would end the turn. And thanks to these units, the Germans would be out of supply. Everybody would roll for surrender. Also, on the next turn, the British have the initiative. So Rommel's going to be aggressive, I think, and he's got a tactical problem here. I'm playing the alternate or the optional rules where armored cars can retreat before combat. Yep, recon string. Treated as a 3 retreat, so got to figure out some way to get these units behind these guys to prevent this guy, like for example, just retreating down the road, kind of defeating the purpose. So they got to hook behind them and then pin this guy, and then they've got to kill these guys. So that's a big one. And then we come down here, and the Germans are set up. Like these guys can make a run and park themselves right here, cut off all the British supply. I'm tempted to push this guy through, try and get through the Halfaya Pass and block this off. And then victory for the Germans is all around taking Bardia. So see if there's a way here that Rommel can set up to take Bardia. Pretty ambitious, but that sounds like Rommel. So that looks like the plan here. Rommel's just going to be Rommel and be aggressive, and they're going to burn the supply unit here and also critically up here, allowing these reinforcements to attempt to do something about these units too. And we'll see how that works out. Also, by burning a full activation, they get their last 2 air supports here, and they also get 3 artillery, along with an exploitation phase. So we'll see how that works out too. All right, so I'm going to do things a little differently here for the sake of time. I'm going to go ahead and do the move offline, and we'll come back in after the German move and a few overruns. So be right back. And that was fast. So let's look at what happened up here. Actually, the first unit I moved was this guy right here. I brought him in right there. And as soon as he moved there, this guy could retreat 3. Problem is he can't go that way because then he'd lose a step, and I think this guy is already reduced, so he'd die. He could have retreated this way, went to maybe down here to 3, but then it would have been easy to just pin him by just parking units here. So he's going to stay in Derna and just go for the doubling effect and force the Germans to attack here. And then the second thing I did was actually, you see this guy, he looped all the way around here to prevent this guy from doing the rope-a-dope down the road here, rope-a-dope. And then with him here, these guys came up And he's got no, I mean, he'd retreat here, he'd lose a step. Retreat here, he'd lose a step. He could go here, lose a step, 2, 3. I mean, there's nowhere. As soon as this guy showed up here, retreating 1, 2, 3. He could have retreated here and lost a step. But then he's neutralized by just putting a unit here on the road, and the Germans have supply. So they were able to trap him. Now the question, though, is, especially this guy, can they succeed in destroying him? So that's show number 1. We come down here, show number 2, and the Germans did not roll well. They did an airstrike here and an airstrike here, and both of them failed. Then on top of that, these guys came down to do an overrun, and they utterly failed. They got an A1, so this guy is still here, blocking the Halfaya Pass. And these guys here tried to come down this road and overrun. Well, initially they tried to overrun the recon unit. It just ran away to the fort doing that recon screening. But then they tried to overrun this New Zealand unit, and I think it was a 4-1. And they rolled an A1D1. So they were stymied right there too. So based on all of those failures, the Axis response obviously was to drive this guy up and park him here, and the odds are pretty much that's going to kill supply. They also looped this ARD unit around to at least put Zoc here, so if they're going to have to do a follow-on attack here, I think, with artillery, but if they're forced to retreat, they've got to go that way. They're not going that way. And then we come over here, and these units have to stay pinned, so these guys stayed around him. And then since these are going to have exploit move, I basically looped extra units around here to free up these Italians now to, depending on the results here, seal off these, because the Brits will get a reaction move. And then actually they could expend supply point, supply point here to get something here, but that wouldn't, I don't know how much that would help. But that's an interesting idea. But their bigger problem, of course, is I don't think they can do anything about here, City Barina. So at this point, the Germans need to place their 3 artillery barrages. Let's get the right ones. And like I said, well, I'm going to roll the dice here. This one's here. This guy's in a fortress, so that's a 1 to 3. But here comes Rommel. He's going for it. This is the victory right here. That's the victory. And then the 3rd artillery unit will be the supply situation way over here. I'm not holding my breath on this attack. 5 is the best they've got, so if they can succeed here, then that would go down 1, double to 2, so they'd still have a 3 to 1. So they could get lucky, especially with all of these blocked. So, I think what we're going to do, question is which one to attack first here. If I do this attack, yeah, let's do this attack first. So we're going to roll for the artillery. 1 to 4 will give us a 1 to 4 will give us a DG. So here's the die roll. Gosh, these Germans are just dropping the ball. Now it's 2 airstrikes and a barrage that fail to succeed. So this is going in at 4. This is going to fail. 4 to 5. This may give me 6. Actually, this is 1/3. The Germans are just rolling horribly. Terrain with these support things. So if we look at coming in through an escarpment, attacker 1/3. Because I'm coming in over the road. 1/3. I think, wow. I got to look at the rounding rules now. Hold on. Okay, retain fractions until the end. So that's 2/3. So we got 5 2/3. So that's 6. 6 to 4 is 2 to 1. Talking about playing the odds here. Yeah, 6 to 4 is 2 to 1. So let's go to the combat chart. I think that's somewhere here. So it is 2 to 1. Big attack into a villa, into a city. That's why it's D times 2. So let's see if they roll better here, or all the Germans are going to be potentially out of supply. So 2 to 1, we need 2 dice. And the roll is... Oh my goodness, what is going on with these Germans? A1R1. Unbelievable. Derna does not fall. Oh, the strongest unit must lose it. That will be this guy. And he's dead. Oh my gosh. And this guy has to retreat 1. He's not going to take a loss. He has to go here. They have failed. Then 5 coming down the hill to 2. Okay, that's a 3 to 1. 3 to 1. See if that comes any better. 8. All right, too little, too late. Is D1 R2. So he loses 1, and then he has to retreat. So he can go 1, 2. Okay, so they should have succeeded here. Now, these all have exploitation move, but they're in no position to overrun, and Derna is blocked. Wow. Oh well. Let's just see what kind of damage gets done here. Everybody's going to be rolling for surrender. Okay, we got a barrage here, 1 to 4. Let's see if anything succeeds for these Germans. Okay, finally. And now roll again, a 5 or 6, and it loses a step. Nope. Oh well, but at least that worked. This guy's a DG now. That means his defense is halved. So he's 2 to 7, which is going to be 4 to 1. All right, here we go. Everybody's out of supply now. Okay, that's a reasonable roll. 4 to 1 on 8. D1R2. Okay, he's going to lose a step. Now, if he goes that way, he can't. So he's got to go this way up. 1. Then he could go there. No, he's going to go here. I think he's disorganized, and he's not. All right, that means these guys can advance after combat. It would be nice with an R2. Be nice if they could push through here. Keep going. Let me check the rules on that. Okay, good news. They can go all the way because they're exploit capable. And the advantage of advancing here is they actually move out of Zoc. So both these units now can do exploit movement, whatever that entails. It would have been nice if this was unoccupied and they could have parked themselves right here, but not to be. All right, so then we've got, looks like that big attack. Yep, coming downhill, and Rommel's coming that way, and they're on those small little wadis. They get a 1 shift left. But if Rommel participates, it doesn't work. Well, let's see. The big thing is a barrage. Oh, they're in a fort, too. So the barrage is 1, 2, or 3. All right, let's see if the Germans get it here. Germans' attack hasn't been very good. Nope, flub. Unbelievable. 3 barrages, 2 airstrikes, and only one succeeded. So that didn't work, so they have to just go in. These guys may be able to take him. These guys... Well, let's see if they can roll Rommel dying here. Let me see what the odds are. That's a big fat 12, so let's see what we got here. We got 13, that's a lot, 17, 26, 33 to 12. 12 is 24. Good news is 24, 33, 36, 3 to 1, 4 to 1 with Rommel. But there's small waddies, so I guess that helps them. So let's see what happens to Rommel. Where is that? Hold on. Leader loss. Okay. Now, of course, is when they're going to roll high. Yeah, if he dies, I quit. 6. Okay, he's okay. Now, let me hide this for a second. Yeah, they're coming downhill. Small waddies with a fort. So let me check the rules on combination of effects here. All right, I think they both apply, and we got a 1 shift, so that's a pretty powerful position here. Let's pull up the train effect. Yeah, we got small waddies. So 12, 3 to 1. It's just a 3 to 1. Let's see what happens here. Rommel's in it. Maybe they'll roll the lucky die roll. Pull up my handy dandy dice roller, the big attack, trying to break into Bardia. Would have been a lot. Oh, now that's finally Rommel's there and forces something. D1R3. Okay, so he is flipped, and he has to retreat. 1, 2, 3. How do you like that? Everybody's just partying in here. And now we get an advance after combat. So let's think about this. If Rommel doesn't advance, he is set up for maybe a potential overrun. So anybody who advances cannot move. So let's just put somebody in there. This guy. Yeah, he's no good for any kind of exploitation, so that does free up these units. Now I'm still left here. He's going downhill, so this should be a straight odds. 11 and 5 is 16 to 3. 16 to 3 is 5 to 1. That's off the chart. So we're going to roll for that. 5 to 1 plus. Gosh, can't you roll worth anything? A1, D1. Well, the good news is this guy's dead. The bad news is, man, these guys are getting attritioned out. And then the other news is, well, these guys are stuck. So he could advance one. This guy is in. I don't have any airstrikes left. Dang it. And this guy, 3, 4, 3. It's a matter of which unit do I want to advance here. Well, let's see. Well, let's just, well, if I don't advance, they can't move, so. And no matter what, they're kind of, well, wait a minute. R3, so and they're exploit capable, and they ignore zone of control. That's interesting. So they could go to town, and they ignore Zoc. So they don't want to spread out, but they want to be in a position to attack. They could probably kill this New Zealand unit. Problem is these units out here, but where would be the best place for them? Right here or here with the Wadi? Here they're up the hill, and they're on the road. So let's just do this. Okay, the Germans are breaking in, and this is still, well, it's an overrun stack, but unfortunately this guy's in a fort, and you can't overrun forts, but that should be the main attack. All right, are there any other attacks? No. So I think that's the end of. Wow, I'm at 20 minutes. Okay, so that's the end of the German assault, at least, and then they've got an exploitation phase here. So, but everybody's out of supply potentially now. Wow, this is a good break point. Everybody's out of supply. Germans are driving on Bardia. Actually, they could come down here and they could attack it. Let me hide this here. It's only one unit. It's a city. Only had saved an airstrike. They're doubled, but they've got enough. They may have enough power. Nope. Yeah, this guy. They could maybe go after Bardia. All right, well, a lot of thinking, so I'm going to stop this recording here and say thanks for listening. It's good to be back here. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything that can be done here. None of these units are stacked. Can't go for an overrun. And the Germans are out of supply. That killed it for the Germans, so I don't know what it's going to look like at the end here, rolling for supply. But maybe they should just go for Bardia and go for the win next during the exploit. Oh wait, they can't. Wait, can you overrun in a city? That's crazy. They could try it. They could try it. Okay, enough of that. Let's go ahead and stop the recording here. And we will see you at the next one. Again, thanks for listening, and it's good to be back.